You are probably making the same mistake many people make when starting an online business. And today we're going to talk about it. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Maddie, and I am the face behind Purpose to Prosperity, a community of faith led women who are building online businesses. So let's talk about what you actually need to start an online business. Because if you have been researching through YouTube, social media, you have probably come across a lot of people and a lot of different advice about starting an online business. But I'm not going to tell you that this is complicated, nor am I going to tell you that you have to spend thousands of dollars, because this is the simple strategy to start an online business. So take note, have your drink ready. Mine is going to be water, and let's dive into it. So, one of the biggest mistakes people make, in my opinion, when starting an online business is assuming that they have to spend a whole lot of money to get started. And they want to invest money in courses, in apps, in technical stuffs, in building a funnel, in, creating this page and doing this and doing that. And they make creating a business so complicated for themselves that they actually end up giving up. And let me just say, you do not need thousands of dollars. You don't need to be techie, and you don't need to have it all figured out when you first get started. The simpler you make starting this business, the more success you are going to have. You also need to get rid of that idea that the only way that you can create an online business is by being an influencer and having a huge audience of people. Let me tell you that there are people who have maybe 2,000, 1,000 followers who are making more money than these quote unquote influencers, okay? Because if there's something that we all know, is that nobody is trusting influencers, because they lie about the products, they lie about the services just so they can get sales. And then eventually it turns back on them. So please don't waste your energy trying to go viral and trying to create content that's going to make you popular, because that does not make money online. Okay. So let's go back to building this business. This is something serious, and the only way you can do it is by focusing on the things that you actually need to do. Okay. So let's get into those things right now. So, yes, you will need some of the technical stuff to run your online business. So, yes, you will need a phone. You may need a laptop. You may need a simple sales page, okay, to get started, but nothing complicated. And a lot of the things that you will need to do when you first get started with your online business, you can actually do with low cost tools and sometimes free tools as well. Another thing that you actually don't need is a fancy website, okay? Like I said, a simple sales page is all that you need to get started. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how you get this done. So if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. I do have a playlist where I'm going to guide you step by step on how to create that simple sales page. So stay tuned for that. And let me look at my notes, guys. So yeah, you don't need a fancy um, sales page. And once you have all of those simple techie things in place, let's move on to the next things that you will need, which are more important than the techie stuff. Okay. So you're going to hear me repeat this over and over again, especially if you're a subscriber and you watch any of my videos. You'll know that I talk a lot about skills and experiences, because your skills and your experiences are all you need to get started. Okay. Let's say that you are a teacher. Okay. And obviously, you know how to teach, you know how to put together lesson plans, you know how to, design a lesson, etc. Okay. Those skills will help you create an online business. Okay. Let's say that you work in a restaurant and over the years you learn how to cook, you learn how to manage staff. There's so much that we learn in our 9 to 5 jobs, in our daily lives, even our personal experiences that can actually be turned into an online business. Okay. That is where you see a lot of people who become coaches, right? A lot of them coach people based on the experiences that they lived through, whether those may be parenting, divorce, um, living abroad. There are so many things that people actually coach on and help other people with. And that is the number one focus that you should have when starting an online business. That an online business is designed to help others, it's designed to service other people. And so think about the things that you already know how to do. Think about the experiences that you have lived through. How many people have you helped in the past and how? What was the process of helping those people? That same process can be applied and implemented in your business, and that becomes your online business. Okay, then the next thing that I always talk about is not trying to do this on your own. Okay, so let's say that you are a complete beginner, you don't have any idea how to set up those simple techie stuff that I talked about, you have no idea how to set up your sales page, you have no idea how to actually organize your experiences and all of the ideas that you bring to the table. If you don't know how to organize that, you need someone to hold your hand. Okay, so that is where Purpose to Prosperity comes in. Our program is designed to help people just like you navigate the process of building their own online business with their skills and with the knowledge they already have. So if you want to learn more, let me know in the comments, okay? And if you have skills, right? If you have experiences, maybe you have a very powerful, meaningful experience that you want to share with people, but you don't know how. You need someone to help you put together all of those ideas, okay? So let's say I'll give you an example of a very powerful experience in my life. Okay, so when I was 9 years old, my mom passed away, and that was very traumatic for me. um, at 9 years old, I had no idea how life would play out for me. I had no idea where I would be. So there were so many things that were so many different emotions that I was navigating at that age, right? And so that shaped me into being the person that I am today and wanting to find solutions, because a lot of people may have gone through similar things, or there are people that are going through difficult things right now in their life. How do you navigate going through traumatic experiences? How do you live life? How do you survive? And one of the things that I always talk about is how God being a part of my life has made me a survivor, has made me someone who used her experiences, because obviously that was not the only negative thing that ever happened to me. Having God in my life has been the most powerful thing. And that is why I bring God into my business, because without him, I'm nothing, right? Without his love, without his love, without his compassion, without his mercy, I am nothing. So I have to bring him into my business. That is why God is part of Purpose to Prosperity, because that is an experience that I have and that I want to share with other people. I want to share God with other people who may be going through difficult situations in their life and they need to have an answer. They need a way out. Okay. So you have experiences that you have lived through, that you have survived, that God has led you out of, right? And so those experiences and talking about them gives other people a platform to feel free to share their experiences. So let me know in the comments, what are those experiences that you have gone through that have shaped you into the person that you are today? And let's talk about how we can turn that as part of your online business, okay? And I'll see you in the next video. Blessings.